Hey everybody, it's your old pal Chuck, and I'm back with another review. And today, we're finishing our look thus far at the Wave 1 Cyberverse Warriors with Optimus Prime. I was thinking before I started this review how basically there isn't one character who's represented all the way across the different classes that are available now. You have Warrior Optimus Prime, you have Ultimate Optimus Prime, but there's no Ultra figure thus far, and his Scout is coming, I believe, in Wave 2. Whereas Bumblebee, you have a Scout, you have a Warrior, you have an Ultra, but there's no Ultimate class. And that's kind of weird because I remember 11 years ago, it's been a while, when they did the first live-action movie, Hasbro said that one of their goals going forward was to make sure that there was a representation of the major characters in each class and price point for the kids to get. Poor kids can't afford the more expensive toys and what have you. And I think they're starting to step away from that a little. But we're starting off with Optimus Prime in vehicle mode because much like Bumblebee, I feel that his weapon gimmick is set up better going from vehicle mode into robot mode. This is a great cab over engine truck design. Great modern update to the classic G1 look. Very boxy, very small. Fits in the palm of the hand. You can see the axe right there sticking out of the back. Interesting thing, he only has 4 rolling tires. These tires right on each side are just molded into place, so only 4 roll, and they do that quite nicely. Basically, the Transform Optimus Prime, if you've transformed a modern Optimus Prime, or in this class, or a G1 Optimus Prime, you're pretty much golden. First, what I would suggest is coming in and flipping up this flap piece. That has to do more with activating the gimmick. We'll get to that in a little bit. And then swing the legs down. Now, some reviewers have said that when going into vehicle mode, you need to bend the knees and then have it hook around the axe. I haven't had that problem. Unless I'm horribly missing something, I haven't had to do that. Next, what you want to do is come around and swing the arms out. Now, unfortunately, the figure does not have a bicep, and that kind of makes the transformation a little more difficult than it needs to be, because all you have then is that double hinge and an elbow, and you really can't swing the bicep around, which would help greatly. But as you can see, it is that classic G1 design, and he does have a hand molded into the arm here, but unfortunately, like from Robots in Disguise, it's covered by the front of the cab. And now this arm you want to be a little more careful with. I think I just felt it. I just triggered it, so just swing that out, and there you have that arm. At this point, you can come around, rotate the whole torso around for a more anime style of torso, and you can separate the legs. Flip the head up, and what's nice is there is a little thumb notch there for the nail. There you can see Optimus Prime's head, very much going along with this Evergreen Cyberverse Neo G1 design. Now, what I would suggest then is coming around and flipping this panel back down. Now, that panel is very key in activating the weapon gimmick. And I do want to mention right off the bat, this gimmick is a lot harder to pull off because my figure came with incredibly loose hips. So hopefully everything's set up. What you're going to want to do is push down on this back panel. Yes, and it worked. The spring gimmick is supposed to push the arm forward, spring out, and at the same time trigger the axe, which it does. Unfortunately, resetting it feels a little off. Like, the axe will stay in place, and you can trigger the axe very easily. But getting this to do the arm, I got it a second time, it feels like that the spring is a little off. And once you have the weapon triggered, you can, of course, just fold this panel back down. I'm pretty sure it's not meant to stay up, even though there is some ridge detailing underneath. I think it's just meant to lay flat like that and just hide out of the way. But there's Optimus's axe. Unfortunately, there is no elbow articulation, and as you can see, the legs are just so floppy, it's very hard to get him to stand, but he does have actual knees. Yeah, so realistically, that's about it for the Warrior Optimus Prime figure. There is an ab crunch, I almost forgot. Very slight. See if I can, just like that. I think that's more so for the transformation than anything, but it is there if you want to use it. But yeah, we'll pause right now, and I will give you my final thoughts. Really don't know what more to say about Warrior Class Optimus Prime. I think I hate to say it just because mine is so loose that he's got to be the weakest of the Warrior figures I've encountered thus far. If his arm gimmick worked a little bit better, and unfortunately, you know, during the review, I hasn't missed. Oh, there we go. See, we had it right here where the arm didn't shoot forward. You know, that happens to me more often than not, and it just has to do with the fact where if I was doing this, I would have the gimmick using a like a push button or something like we see on the Ultra figures, which we'll get to in another review. But I think that would work a lot better. But I can understand they're trying to keep things integrated with the transformation and stuff like that, and that's why they're really not using push buttons and stuff with some of these Warrior figures. A lot of people are saying Optimus Prime is as bad as Starscream. Again, as you all know, I don't think Starscream's that bad. So, ultimately, it's going to be up to you. If you like Optimus Prime, if you want like an Optimus Prime with an axe, not a sword, but an axe, in a deluxe scale, then go ahead and pick this figure up. Otherwise, I would say the Ultimate Class is a much better figure overall. I mean, it's a much better figure than this, and it might be more in line with what you're looking for. So, this is your old pal Chuck for Optimus Prime. We will see you next time.